Hello, we are a group of seniors studying special education. We are enrolled in a course that focuses on UDL principles and how to implement those ideas in our future classrooms.
We really want to share the basics of UDL with you so that you can see what it is and how you can use it in your own classroom. UDL is defined as a set of principles for curriculum development that give all individuals equal opportunities to learn.
We will tell and explain the 3 principles of UDL to you in our video today. Part 1 is the multiple means of representations. Part 2 is multiple means of action and expression. And finally, Part 3 is multiple means of engagement.
Learners differ in the ways that they perceive and comprehend information that is presented to them. Learning occurs when multiple representations are used because it allows students to make connections within concepts. In short, there is not one means of representation that will be optimal for all learners. Providing options for representations is essential. 3 ways to further this idea is to provide options for perception. You can do this by providing the same information through different modalities. Examples are like through vision, hearing, or touch. The second way you can do this is providing information in a format that will allow for adjustability by the user. Second, you can provide options for language, mathematical expressions, and symbols. You can do this by clarifying mathematical expressions and vocabulary. You can also use different form of media for learners to view the information. Thirdly, you can provide options for comprehension. The purpose of education is not to make information accessible, but rather to teach learners how to transform accessible information into usable knowledge. You can do this by activating background knowledge, highlighting patterns, big ideas, and generalizations. Think about your students with sensory disabilities, learning disabilities, and language and cultural differences, and many others. They are going to require other means of representation. So by providing numerous ways of representations, you are addressing as many learners as you can.
Learners differ in the ways that they can navigate a learning environment and express what they know. It should also be recognized that action and expression require a great deal of strategy, practice, and organization. And this is another area in which learners can differ. In reality, there is not one means of action and expression that will be optimal for all learners. Providing options for action and expression is essential. First, you can provide options of physical action by having varying methods of response, as well as optimizing access to assistive technology. Second, you can provide options for expression and communication by having multiple media expressions and different ways for students to be able to construct a response. Third, you can provide options for executive functions. This means guiding appropriate goal setting and having planning and strategic development. Think about your students with physical impairments, those who struggle with strategic and organizational abilities, language barriers, and other similar impairments. Some students can express themselves better with written text than speech, or vice versa. It's important to be able to understand all of your students' understanding. Having an assessment that gives students multiple means to express their understanding also is a UDL principle, because different learners can choose their preferred but equal in content assignment.
Motivation represents a crucial element to learning, and learners differ in the ways in which they can be engaged or motivated to learn. As a teacher, you can help motivate your students in 3 main ways. First, you can provide options for recruiting interest. You can do this by optimizing students' choice, relevance, value, and authenticity, as well as minimizing threats and distractions. Second, you can provide options for sustaining effort and persistence by varying demands and resources, encouraging collaboration and communication, and increased mastery-oriented feedback. Third, you can provide students options for self-regulation. This can be done by promoting expectation and beliefs that optimize motivation, facilitating personal coping skills, and developing self-assessment and reflection. There are a variety of sources that can influence individual variation in motivation, including neurology, culture, personal relevance, subjectivity, and background knowledge, along with a variety of other factors. In reality, there is no one means of engagement that will be optimal for all learners in all contexts. Providing multiple options for engagement is essential.
Now, hopefully you are much more familiar with UDL and the principles that make up this idea.
Take a look at this graphic to help you organize what we just said.
Also, check out CAS.org to learn more about UDL. We hope that you learned more about UDL from this video and explore it further so that you can begin implementing it into your own future classrooms.